Hello, this is KRBrickBot and welcome to 2022. And now I'm looking at Tobot V's newest season, Season 3, which launched in March of 2021 last year. Yeah, I'm like the last English collector to review these Tobot Vs. I was just focused on the sheer quantity of the Hello KRBrickBot toys that fewer collectors are interested in. But Tobot V is a bit smaller in scale, it has a few character-focused Tobot characters, and a couple of combiners, and a couple of mini versions. And Season 3 was actually a rather short one, at 32 episodes. So I guess there's a Season 3 Part 2 in space. I guess I'll just review catch-up before the next wave of Tobot V then. So I shipped this without the plastic insert inside, but just kept the outer box. So the plastic window's a little scruffed. And this is the spot where the Toki would be displayed. But yeah, it's a uniform style of packaging for the Season 3 lineup with the metal plating style. Very angular 45-degree edges here. Number 1, Tobot V Season 3 Tachyon. The back of the box looks like a nice space hangar background. Car mode, Toki, robot mode. Quote blurb there. And a cross pattern similar to the signature tire pattern on most Tobot packaging boxes, but not quite tires. Side of the box, nice side view. And the bottom of the box, February of 2021, I think. Publicly released March. A tachyon is a hypothetical subatomic particle that travels faster than light. So I guess they use that scientific spacey term for the name of a Tobot and a speedy cyberpunk style futuristic car. The pretty retro style car with that very square front and the very square front hood like a Lamborghini. But a futuristic Lamborghini in all its several swept-back hard edges and angles. Those several cuts there, and especially that notable asymmetrical window. This little bit of plastic sticking out forward there, which is a very interesting design accent. And some rather futuristic looking side handlebars. The back has the supercar furbishings of the louvers. The top hood intake vents with white painted windows. Those arrows are indented in. What looks like 2 places for gas caps. Little ridges there. The back is also exceptionally well detailed with those separately plastic transparent rear lights. A molded and painted one there, and another painted little vent here. And 2 tones of paint for the Toki slot. And little vents down there. Yes, really detailed and premium painted kids toy. For a large car. And the same for the front. There are these separately molded plastic transparent blue headlights on top of these implied headlights. Double headlights. And some transparent red in there. And Tobot V right on the underside of there, like some sort of out of sight license plate. And there's the Toki there. And what looks like some sort of front hood scanner thing. Kind of an obvious cut for the head and the hood. But it's a stylish scene cut. Also, those 3 little vents there on the front as with the back. Some little consistency there. And painted orange side turn signals. Those windows have some really flat edge polygons with the little more edges etched out and some really polygonical rear view mirrors. And what really sells the sci-fi are these neon style, Tron style ringed wheels. Like these spinning ring wheels with the stylized hubcaps right in the middle there, immobile. And there's Tachyon printed on here, and Tachyon printed between the orange rims of the wheels, which the back wheels are actually slightly larger. Let's see Galaxy detectives try to rename Tachyon when it's molded right on the toy. There really is no need to redub the name for Tachyon, at least. You can teach kids that a tachyon is a hypothetical subatomic particle that travels faster than light. And they are galaxy detectives. They're galaxy guardians, space guardians. The only problem with these ring wheels is that there's a lot of friction in them, so for a speedy car, for what's supposed to be a super speedy car, it doesn't really roll that well unless you really push it. It rolls worse than Hasbro's plastic pin wheels. That, and this is a pretty heavy toy, so these frictioned up wheels bogged down by the weight of this toy does not make this the fastest car. I would have liked this better if it was possible to make pinned wheels, then a separate plastic hubcap over that, or fidget style ball bearings to get it really rolling. But what kind of toy car has 4 ball bearing fidget wheels inside? So yeah, style comes at a functional cost sometimes. In comparison with large car robots, you can see the stark difference in the design style of the old real robot Tobots and the super space stylized Tobots. I mean, this is has some more realism, more angularity than this rather round thing, this rather round car. And the scale, and it looks like it's between the standard 124 and this off 123 scale. Yeah, I guess you can put it in either scale, but yeah, it's a large car. It's a large car, but not too large. Onto the V transformation. So for this Season 3 style of toe key, these are actual metal toe keys. I don't think they're die cast, just plain metal cast toe keys with a plastic in the middle, like 2 pieces of plastic sandwiched between a metal key. Doesn't seem to have enough ridges to be a good key, but it does serve its function like a wedge. Just a wedge to optionally unlatch some of those H-clips, those HC clips, like those old classic Tobot style. Without the toe key, it leaves a big clip there. I don't know if that would have looked better if the clip was in reverse, but yeah, so I guess you have to have that on there for this thing to look good, otherwise it just looks like a really dented hood. Anyway. Yeah, so just bring that entire torso down, full 180 waist rotation. Rotate these ratcheted kibble bits on the side. Flip out these little panels and these little leg back panels. Flip out the foot, flip out the heel. Same for the other side. Ratchet those arms forward. Ratchet them down. Slide out those panel bits for the arms and the hands. I guess flip out this head first and then kibble there, put the toe key back there. Robot mode. It's a lean, speedy body type of Tobot, showing off more white to add to the blue and some more splashes of red, with some stylistic kibble stacked onto that lean body, like those car side shoulder towers, and these big wheel leg flaps, which are soft ratcheted at an angle, so you can adjust them to different lengths if you desire, like, I guess more booster flare things, or completely upward. Yeah, it goes full 360 even on the ground, so yeah, you can just adjust that however you like. Tachyon has subtle motifs of 3 lines in a dot, like on his toes, those gold painted toes, and his thigh swivels, like their 2 line circle, his midriff, which is like a asymmetrical 3 lines in a button. His little shoulders, which have nicely painted gold circles in them, and the lines, those very subtle design aesthetics, those repeating aesthetics is also a really nice touch there. Also little circles in the forearm. The back is also really well filled in. It's not hollow because it has these flaps. these flaps with numbers on them. And they would be on the underside in the car mode, so these numbers on the back is a really nice attention to detail. I mean, yeah, really nice spruce up that didn't necessarily need to be there, but it's there and it's great. Also, separately molded plastic vents in there. Really premium. And those heel boots, high heel shoes for the sake of transformation, but also, yeah, pretty screwed in. Hollow, not hollow unnecessarily, just only in the bottom. That's completely fine. And the back shins, yeah, it's all screwed in there. And even but it has a painted, or yeah, I think this one's painted. This is a painted vent there. More lines, yeah, more details in the back area, which is really extra. The supercar louvers and the back flaps also function as really nice repurposed robot mode shins vents. And those nice form extra feet flaps that give it a more shape and consistency between the gap of the foot and the rest of the leg. But when you get to the top, yeah, it's not much effort in the back here because this giant car hood just covers up most of it, but not most of it. It's a really hollow back waist here. Only due to the necessity of this having to house the entire head section in the car mode. So yeah, this is the best it can do, but since there is a cutout, you can still see it in the back. And it doesn't sit flush with the back. And it can't sit any more flush because transformational back shoulders has to have enough space in there. Which looks like it's also separately gray plastic. I mean, that's unintentional, but that really gives it more depth. On the side, but not the back. I guess if this was even more premium than it already was, I guess I would have liked for this hood to have folded up even more to compress and fill out the sides. The head is a nice space cadet type, a very spacey type Tobot robot head. Like the ones printed on the side, 01, 01 there. A similar motif of his brow headlights on front of his chest headlights. And a white V-shaped headband there. Pretty flat top, a little antenna, little fin antenna there. Side guards, a big squarey chin, and baby blue eyes, but covered with some transparent visors. Much depth. And it's on a really well-defined neck. A detailed neck with a popped collar around it. Really makes him a little bit stylish. On top of his hood scanner thingy and his toki on the side. He's a handsome lad. Good design of midriff with the one right in the middle there and the Tobot V's plate that could be slightly more visible. A lean masculine S-line. A defined waist and that aforementioned asymmetrical motif. And the pelvic area, also very nicely painted. Titanium red V. Baby blue lights, baby blue light waist lights. The arms are simply detailed, but also detailed enough. And really filled in there, no hollowness here. It's a loose sliding joint. So there's panels here on tiny screws. And those hands look kind of familiar. I don't exactly want to say they just reused the big Maximus V Toys hands for Tachyon's hands since they look so similar and just so common. It's a very subtle reuse of a pre-existing design, so that's the source for this. Articulation. Head is on a ball socketed swivel, some good amounts of side to side, a full 360 at the head, up and down, and an extra transformational hinge all the way back. Shoulders are pretty stacked, so they really do limit the outward. Might have liked an extra hinge joint to make that spread out more, but I think 2 clicks for each position, for each quarter. It goes full 360, provided that you can get the little latch not caught in the giant hood in the back. Pretty obtuse elbow. Just 2 clicks there. I It gets a backward transformational butterfly. Also, this shoulder in particular has loose soft clicks than this shoulder. Transformational back arc. On this clip that clips, but not tightly. Legs go forward that much. And back that much. Much more in the back. Full spread, nearly. And obtuse knee bend. On those really disproportionately tiny shins and really long legs, as is a stylistic design with some Tobots and other robots. Full 360 thigh swivels. I don't think thigh swivels are as common in Tobot toys as KRBrickBot toys. And the transformational foot, which is on a free hinge but does have a little separately spring-loaded button to lock the foot in the proper position. And finally, the transformational waist swivel. Waist swivels are often really uncommon. It's decently articulated for a Tobot toy, just having some restricted articulation and lack of articulated joints. I guess it just functions fine, but it doesn't exactly lend itself to good martial arts taekwondo poses. Big car robot comparison. Okay, sure, it may look a little downsized comparing an old Tobot with a new Tobot, but I think it fits better in line with the KRBrickBot aesthetic more. Even with this new sci-fi style, this still feels more distinctly young toys with its soft beveled edges compared to the more hard edges of the KRBrickBot toys. I mean, so this scale works better than this slightly bigger scale. Alternators are short. Tachyon is just a decent Tobot toy, just not the most outstandingly good, not the really bad, it's just okay. But it was a good reminder and refresher on how premium, well-built these Tobot toys are. Like, really extensive high parts count, like, as I said, some separate plastic parts where possible, and some really spot-on paint details where it isn't possible to put separate plastic pieces. And all those subtle painted bits, and the transparent parts in the right places, and opaque black windows. I mean, it looks like they put more effort into the detailed joints than the functional joints. But apart from that, yeah, this still makes what Tobot toy is pretty great. The larger, the better detailed it is. There's merits to big cars, and there's merits to little car robots. So that's what generally every toy reviewer says about Tachyon, so I'll just say something unique about his written character. That weird trope when a robot is a son, and there is a robot father. So Tachyon is the son of the space general, the space commander, space captain of the Uju Sohode Space Guardians, with him as a kid and everything, having you question robot reproduction. And his father is a pseudo-Tobot. I mean, I guess he's called a Tobot and he can be ridden like a Tobot, but that design really looks like it's animation first. It really doesn't look like it had any intentions of being turned into a toy. It doesn't even look like it transforms. Who wants a toy of Tobot Black Knight? That's just an action figure, and it's not a car Tobot. Tobot Space Guardian number 1 is off to a good start, but number 2 is even better.